Hip hop, a cultural movement born from the creativity and resilience of marginalized communities. Its beginnings can be traced back to the Bronx in the 1970s, rooted in African American and Latinx experiences. Hip hop comprised a fusion of artistic expressions, including MCing, rapping, DJing, breakdancing, and graffiti art. Party served as a foundation for this movement, where DJs like Kool Herc pioneered the use of turntables to extend the grooviness part of songs, giving birth to the concept of the breakbeat. These beats became the canvas for MCs to rhyme and rap, addressing both the harsh realities of urban life and their aspirations. Hip-hop quickly evolved into a powerful tool for self-expression, social commentary, and empowerment, eventually spreading its influence across the globe and reshaping the music, fashion, and cultural landscape forever. From these parties, hip-hop's early days saw the rise of pioneers like Grandmaster Flash, Run DMC, and many more, who laid the foundation for the genre's growth. The 1980s marked the period of explosive creativity with the introduction of sampling technology and the birth of subgenres like gangster rap, pioneered by NWA, and the conscious rap of artists like Public Enemy. The 1990s brought hip-hop into the mainstream with artists like Tupac Shakur, the Notorious B.I.G., and what's considered the golden era of East Coast-West Coast rivalry in hip-hop. As the 2000s dawned, hip-hop diversified further with the rise of alternative and experimental artists like Outkast, as well as commercial successful artists such as Eminem and Jay-Z. The 2010s witnessed the emergence of trap music, characterized by artists like Future and Migos, as well as the global impact of artists like Drake, who blurred genre lines. Today, hip-hop stands as the dominant genre in the music industry, encompassing a wide spectrum of styles from mumble rap to social conscious lyricism, and continues to reflect the ever-changing landscape of technology, society, and creativity. As hip-hop has continued to evolve, it seems that being considered the realest rapper, or the rapper with the most bodies, being a crime rapper, being anybody that's considered a real street individual, has become the norm and what's expected of most rappers. Labels seem to only sign artists that are the most gangster and don't really focus on conscious rap as much as it has in the past. In one of my previous videos, I mentioned how Ebro mentioned that record labels will no longer be focusing on hip hop and will now be diverging their interest and focus to Spanish and African music. Today we're going to dive into one of the main reasons why I believe that labels are starting to do that, and ultimately it's because of the number of rappers that are currently incarcerated in different prisons, various places all around the United States. If you haven't already, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. This is Life as We Know It. Let's jump right into it. Problem Child 5 is an Atlanta-based artist who signed a deal with Future and Duct Tape Entertainment a few years ago upon his release from prison. He's currently locked up for 5 bodies, including gun possession, street gang activity. The list can go on and on. Here's a picture of his charges. He's been shouted out by Young Thug. He's been shouted out by Future. And like I said, he signed to Future and Freeband Entertainment over at Epic Records. He's also been shouted out and mentioned in Playboi Carti's Stop Breathing song. A lot of people don't know about this diss, but Carti sent a major diss to his enemies and opposition in Atlanta. Not sure if he'll be tied up in a RICO or anything from this. I don't want to put that false information out there, but this is what he had to say about Problem Child. Free Lil Tip, free Migo Bliff, free all my guys, free Problem Child. I've been with Lil Demon and Lil Bino and R5, riding in a tank on 285. Now, according to another blogger on YouTube, Hip Hop Daily, Problem Child was locked up on a parole violation. I'll let him get into more details. He can explain it better than me. So check out this clip and then we'll talk more about it.
Last year, Problem Child's career hit another speed bump when he got locked up on a parole violation. But the situation got even worse when the news broke that he's facing 5 murder charges. There's not much info about the cases, but one of the bodies he's allegedly responsible for is a dude named Chad Billingsley. Police claim back in 2019, Problem allegedly caught Billingsley at a gas station and started letting off shots with a rifle. According to police, Billingsley had a connection to whoever shot him, but it's not clear how it all went down. With 5 murder charges hanging over him, it's pretty unlikely that Problem Child will ever get out. And now there's a chance the whole homicide crew might get taken down too. A reporter from Atlanta named George Cheedy reposted a clip of Problem Child going live from the Fulton County Jail. He wrote, "This is Mikhail Gunn, the rapper Problem Child 5 in Fulton County Jail. P5 is an East Atlanta gangster affiliated with DTE and Homicide. He's made music with Future. Gunn is accused of killing 5 people. And according to Chidi, the district attorney's office confirmed that Homicide is one of several street gangs on a road to a racketeering charge. Rap fans were shocked when Young Thug, Gunna, and the rest of the YSL crew were targeted in a RICO case earlier this year. And now, Cardi's homies could be next. Georgia ain't playing around with their RICO cases.
Now, I'm not an expert, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not saying he did it or he didn't do it, but to have 5 bodies and a deal with Future is crazy. I'm not trying to continue to say this, but labels are definitely pushing for artists to be murderers and drug dealers and just everybody of the sort. I think this is a little bit ridiculous. I don't say he did it, nothing's been proven, but just the fact that you could potentially have a RICO, Cardi's mentioning you in songs, it's crazy. But let's keep going. Let's continue. Olarent is another Atlanta artist from East Atlanta, Zone 6, who was released from prison in 2018 and began taking music serious. Upon him taking music more serious, he dropped a couple hot songs, Brazy Story, which is a remix to King Von's Crazy Story, and another track in 2019 that caught Gucci Mane's attention, Feel Like Guwap. They jumped on a remix. He tried to sign him, but Olarent wasn't interested. He said he had to wait until the paperwork was right and didn't want to take a deal with him, which understandably, I think a lot of artists should take their time and not rush into deals. But he ended up signing a deal anyway, not with Gucci Mane, with Cinematic Records. He said the paperwork was right, it worked out better for him. And instead of following up with this with more hot music, instead he followed up with a beef with Atlanta's very own Big Bank DTE, who is the label president and owner of Duct Tape Entertainment, the label that I mentioned previously that signed Problem Child 5. In May of 2020, Olarent was seen on video being caught by the police. It's a viral footage. It's pretty much him crying while being arrested. He was arrested for having a gun. I believe Olarent is a felon as well, which felons cannot have guns. In the video, he pretty much says that Big Bank is a rat and he snitched on him while he's in handcuffs, and he's pretty much just trying to point the finger and not necessarily take accountability for having the gun on him. Let's take a look at that footage.
Big Bank is the police too, man. Make sure you pull that, man. Tell you folks Big Bank a rat, man. All these niggas intended on me, man. All y'all niggas are rats, man. Keep my name out your mouth, man. All y'all niggas are rats. All y'all niggas police.
Boy, they got Olarent. They got Olarent goddamn jammed up and handcuffed, boy. Man, they tripping, boy. Why they got Ola like that, dumb man? They got Olarent down bad, boy. Oh shit, damn, he got caught with the fire. Jit got caught with the fire, man. They say he caught Shawty with the fire, man. He say he protecting his life, man. They say they out on his head, boy. They say, man, go on take me to jail, boy. They caught that boy with the fire. You can bond out. I don't know why they...
Now, I'm not going to say Big Bang DTE told on him or play any of those type of games because I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't think any of us were there, hopefully. But I did do some research and I was able to find out that Olarent was actually arrested, a part of an even bigger plan than probably anybody telling on him, called Operation Phoenix in Atlanta. It was pretty much an effort to identify, investigate, and persecute the individuals that were deemed the most dangerous citizens of society in the city of Atlanta. He was named as one of the people on this list, and they pretty much fall into one of the 9 prohibited categories, including being a felon, illegal alien, or unlawful use of a controlled substance. There's further charges, further categories. We're not going to get too deep into it, but as you can see right here, he was arrested for possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. So like I said previously, he was a felon carrying a gun, not supposed to have one. I know people feel like they're supposed to protect themselves, but ultimately, the law is the law. But this didn't stop him being mentioned. This hasn't stopped Olarent in general. He's been locked up. I know he's fighting his gun case, not sure how long he's in there, but he's been mentioned in a Playboy Cardi song. Cardi mentioned a lyric about him, had a whole bar about him. song Stop Breathing, same song where he actually mentioned Problem Child 5, he actually shouted out Ola, probably a very disrespectful line, not necessarily a shout out. But he said, I got niggas in chain gang on my side. I had the niggas shank Ola for a pie. I had the niggas shank Ola for a pie. So I'm not sure if that's actually what happened. I have also heard Olarent's name come up in a 1090 Jake story where he sent a prison hit, or one of his homies, I believe, sent a prison hit to take care of something. Let's dive into that clip as well.
Succeed would be targeted and gunned down. But a closer look into Cameron's life outside the gym would reveal an entirely different lifestyle than the one shared by his mother. Cameron was more commonly known as Lil Cam, and on his own Instagram, he could be seen posing with a variety of guns, including a story post of him riding in the passenger seat armed with a Glock with an extended magazine. Now, while Georgia has some of the most relaxed gun laws in the country, Lil Cam had turned 15 just weeks before his death, and no law allows a 14-year-old to carry handguns. But aside from the weapons, it's alleged his blood relation to his older brother is the reason for his murder. Lil Cam was the younger brother of none other than Jeree Jackson Jr., who's more commonly known as 25-year-old Atlanta rapper Olarent. The rapper, who spent 5 years in prison and was released in 2018, began quickly gaining attention in the city, and in 2020 was even sent a 1017 chain, leading many to believe he was signing to Gucci, who he hadn't even met. The $1 million deal never went through, and later that year, Olarent would be one of 12 arrested by the FBI in Operation Phoenix. He'd be indicted by the feds after being found in possession of an FN-57 pistol loaded with 21 rounds, and after a guilty plea, he'd be sentenced to 57 months in federal prison. It's unlikely the sentencing of 57 months had anything to do with the FN-57, but goddamn, what a coincidence. It's believed Lil Cam was targeted because of who his brother is and his brother's alleged gang affiliation. A total of 6 teens would be arrested for the murder of Lil Cam and the death of 12-year-old Zion, even though Zion was part of the group that killed Cam. Zion was known as Lil Hot, and while his friends fired at Cam's group, one of Lil Hot's friends accidentally fired a bullet into the back of his head, which exited his face and killed him instantly. It was a reckless hit, gone all the way wrong, and done by kids, as the suspects are aged between 14 and 17. Lil Rodney can be seen in a photo with Lil Hot, and it's alleged Lil Rodney was bragging about killing Cam while in jail. What Rodney didn't know was an alleged affiliate of Olarent was right next door in the cell block. Kailyn Thomas, who's more commonly known as Draco, is said to have stabbed Lil Rodney as get back for Cam. And not only that, it's alleged that while Rodney was getting stabbed, he'd cry out that he didn't do it and name the actual killer. All of this is alleged to have been recorded on video by a cell phone within the jail, but the video has yet to be released. It's unclear if Draco meant to punish Rodney or torture him until he found out who actually killed Cam. But his determination in digging through a fucking jail wall to get to a rival gang member will go down in Atlanta jail history. Now this
is crazy. The whole story, everything to do with this. I personally don't know if Olarent actually sent the hit to have his brother's killer taken care of, but either way, it's just a crazy story. And like I said, it's just another reflection of, you have a major label deal, why are you still in the streets? But let's keep going. Let's continue. Let's get into number 3. Next on our list is D-Thang. D-Thang is a Bronx drill rapper. He's allegedly the cousin of K-Flock, but he was indicted along with 33 other members of his gang on 65 counts of murder, animal cruelty, and more. According to ABC 734, alleged members of the Bloods affiliated RPT organization have been charged with conspiracy to commit murder, attempted assault, animal cruelty, criminal possession of a weapon, among others. They tried to make them look menacing with the Squid Game picture. 7 of the defendants were hit with attempted murder and other charges for the incident in August 2020, in which they allegedly fired approximately 11 shots into a building, nearly missing target's head. 8 months later, members of the RPT organization and their allies allegedly committed a gang assault on members of the Crips at Rikers Island. They said that they also alleged that they engaged in gun violence, committing 6 shootings, one which rivals gangs were injured. I'm guessing the Crip situation. They allegedly fire wildly on the streets without regard for lives of anyone else. They allegedly possessed a gun used in the shooting and posing it with social media videos and rap about their crimes. Now, to me, I think that's the worst part about all of this. You shouldn't rap about something that you're actively doing, or just anything for that matter. You know, if you're in the streets, be in the streets, stay off the internet. I understand people trying to go legit and do the right thing, but don't rap about what you're doing. But the indictment follows the racketeering influence and corrupt organization gang or bus RICO. I guess that's what they are hit with. Not just them, Thug, Gunna. Not Gunna anymore, but you know them. They're held without bond, and here's the list. I mean, you can see it. They have almost everyone incarcerated, probably a couple other people, on house arrest. But for the most part, everybody on this list is incarcerated, with the exception of a few. You can see right there, D-Thang incarcerated. I didn't realize he's only 20. The other sad piece about this, these are all relatively young guys. Look at all these people incarcerated. 17, 19, 20, 18, 19, 20, 24, 22. And then you got the old heads, the 34, the 28, the 32. It's just sad, man. Like, we got to do better. And like I said, the list goes on. So next, let's get into D-Thang's alleged cousin, K-Flock. Not sure if they're actually cousins, but let's jump right into it. So K-Flock is another Bronx drill rapper. He was arrested as well on RICO charges. I know there was a video circulating before of him shooting someone on camera. I never saw the video. I try not to indulge in that type of stuff, just to keep my mind right, and you know, just stay away from that type of stuff. You don't need to see that type of stuff on video. It's not anything that you should strive to see. It's not cool. We shouldn't glorify it, not even in music. But keeping focused on the story, him and his group were facing multiple violent crime charges, including attempted murder and assault with a dangerous weapon arising from 7 shootings committed in the Bronx between June 2020 and February 2022, according to the indictment. In all, K-Flock is facing charges of racketeering, murder and aid of racketeering, use of a firearm resulting in a death, attempted murder and assault with a dangerous weapon and aid of racketeering, use of a firearm, and attempted murder and assault with a dangerous weapon. His attorney released a statement. We're not surprised by the federal charges, that we've been fighting Kevin's state murder charge for over a year now. So that's the murder I was referring to. I guess that one is state, but these are actual federal charges, probably because they're acting as a gang or organization. I'm not sure what side he reps. I'm not too familiar with K-Flock and D-Thang. I don't listen to murder music that often, but not being biased for a possible death penalty charge is extraordinary. On video, it's crystal clear that Kevin was about to be shot after attempting to walk away from his attacker. Only then did Kevin use a weapon to defend himself and another from an armed, violent gang member who was about to pull out the loaded gun in his hand. So, I mean, here's the footage, I guess, right here. We can see a little bit of it. Hopefully it doesn't show too much. I'm sure it doesn't, because it's Instagram, but yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't want to know what happened. It says that whoever he shot and killed outside the barbershop, it was captured on surveillance footage. We see the guy leaving the barbershop right now. We see another guy leaving the barbershop right now, kind of just looking. And then I want to say that's almost all the footage we're seeing on the surveillance camera right here. Initial reports claim K-Flock confronted the victim while he was getting a haircut inside the barbershop. Hernandez was then said to have walked outside where the argument ensued with K-Flock, and Hernandez was shot. However, video of the incident shows K-Flock walking past the barbershop with what appears to be a young kid with him. Hernandez then exits the barbershop and appears to follow K-Flock before he is shot off camera. So that is the story. Now, I don't think K-Flock is going to get off on this at all. He might get some of the charges dropped, but I don't think New York has anything established for self-defense. And I know you're not permitted to just have a gun, especially unpermitted or just anything of that sort in New York. So I don't think K-Flock is going to get off on this. I'm not sure how long he's going to get. I know the case is still ongoing, but just another sad story of another rapper. Even if he didn't shoot the guy, he probably was still going to get hit with the RICO charges for him and his gang, probably from all the music, from all the dissing, just from everything. So just another sad story, and unfortunately the list is still going. We have a total of I think 36 people on this list, just a heads up. So if you want to pause it, if you want to take breaks, if you want to break it up in sections, I highly recommend it. But yeah, there's 36 rappers and we're not even done yet, so let's get into the next one. Another Bronx drill rapper that has been arrested and is currently about to potentially face time for charges. Jumping right into the article by Complex, Bronx rapper Nas EBK was arrested for second-degree murder weeks after he was arrested on charges of terroristic threats. Bronx rapper Nas EBK is once again in police custody, this time on a second-degree murder charge. So, just weeks after he was arrested on charges of terroristic threats, Bronx rapper Nas EBK is once again in police custody. He was arrested in connection with a fatal shooting in Times Square. He's accused of killing 22-year-old Idrisha Sibi. I hope I pronounced that correctly. If I didn't, I apologize. On February 9th, following an argument that took place at the corner of 44th Street and 8th Avenue in Times Square, the argument escalated when EBK allegedly shot Sibi, striking him on the right side of his chest. The Bronx native has since denied any wrongdoing, taking to Instagram to write, "I'm innocent. Only God can judge me. Be home soon. Free the guys." So, news arrives less than a month after Nas EBK was arrested. He was arrested by U.S. Marshals. I did see this. There was a prank video that went out where at the end of the video, he pretty much started to threaten the people that he was trying to prank. It was, I guess, supposed to be funny. I didn't find it too funny. It wasn't anything entertaining. I don't know why people do prank videos, especially when they know they're possibly putting their lives in danger. I guess he wasn't scared, and let's just jump right into the clip of it.
I ain't gonna lie, 20,000 likes, you know what I'm saying? In less than 24 hours,
We just gonna go crazy.
But not POP. No, it's by accident. Like I'm a very handy person. Like, I like your hat. You know how to dance? Okay. You know how to dance? Yes.
Oh yeah,
yes.
That's good, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dance. Hold on. Yes.
Hold on, move.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Shit. Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
Yo.
Don't do that, buddy.
Yo, wait, why did you hit me?
Hey, Poppy.
You hit me.
Hey, Poppy.
I didn't hit you. I just shot on your hat. Oh. Whoa. Wait. Oh, yo, you gotta chase him. Oh. All right. Well, he said go outside, yo. Yo, give me. Oh. Wait. Oh. Yo, relax, dude. Oh, relax. Oh. Look, I got 30 people outside. There's this guy that's trying to chase me. I need your help. You know what happened? You know what happens if you don't got $1?
What happened?
He's a demon with the knock. You know what the knocks is?
You gonna kill someone over $1?
Wait. How you know the lingo? Where you from?
From New York.
We from around here, man.
Yo, look, somebody that's chasing me right now. I need you to boom him. Oh, knife? Just a video, bro. It was just a video.
I'll violate
Yo,
you.
it was just a
I don't
video.
care about what you doing, bro.
Yo, it was just.
Once my mother, I would
Yo, relax. Yo, look, it's a video. Yo, it's a video. Yo, nah, it's a Yo, it's a video. It's a video. Look, it's a video. Oh.
Get close to niggas that knife, bro. I'm not scared of that knife, bro.
Yo, bro.
Yo, back up with that knife, bro.
Yo, back up. Back up. Yo, back up. Tell him back up. Oh, shit. Yo, what are you? Yo, bro.
Oh, he's the one. He's wild.
No face, no case. Yo, I'm gonna act like me and Nas is about to fight. We about to cause a big ass scene.
My initial thoughts are, why would you film that? Why would the cameraman keep filming, keep shooting? And most importantly, why would you post it? So you can get in trouble. This right here was the video that was used to get him on the terroristic threats charge, which I'm not gonna lie, it looks pretty valid to me. You can see him on video kicking the guy. You can see him threatening to stab him. You can see him digging in his pocket as if he has a knife, which I'm sure he probably did. He wasn't bluffing. But just the fact that you're on camera doing that is crazy. I'm waiting to see what happens with the murder charge. It's still ongoing, so we're not sure where it's gonna go. He could be innocent. I'm not saying that he's innocent. I'm not saying he's guilty. I'm not taking a side. I'm not objective with this, but I do want to highlight this as he's another rapper that's currently locked up. Another rapper that's popping, doing podcasts. He's been all over. I mean, I don't watch his stuff too much, but I've seen him on Say Cheese. I've seen him on No Jumper. Videos doing millions of views, so it just doesn't make sense. Why not focus on music rather than trying to do prank videos and getting yourself locked up, or even more specifically murdering people allegedly? Right into the next name on our list is a pair of Brooklyn rappers, Brooklyn drill rappers specifically, Chef G and Sleepy Hollow. It says the rising Brooklyn rappers are alleged to be Crips responsible for numerous Brooklyn shootings since March 2019. Picture of them right there. On May 16th, Brooklyn District Attorney Eric Gonzalez, New York City Mayor Eric Adams, and New York City Police Commissioner Keesant L. Sewell, I hope I pronounced that correctly, held a press conference announcing that rapper Chef G, real name Michael Williams, and Sleepy Hollow's real name Tegan Chambers were arrested as part of a 32-person, 140-count gang indictment alleging murder, attempted murder, gun possession, other crimes. Gonzalez claimed that the men charged are members of the 8 Trey Crips and 9 Ways gang, who collectively waged war on the Folks Nation, Gangster Disciple, and ICG Babies over a period starting in March 2019. Now, it says the indictment attributes 12 shootings to the gang, including the fatal October 2020 shooting. Theodore Sr., aka Sniper Blicky, an alleged member of the Folk Nation, Gangster Disciple, and an ally of Chef G's rival 22 G's. During the press conference, Gonzalez said what we allege and what we learned during the course of the investigation is that Chef G used a lot of the money he earned to help facilitate further gang activity, encouraging gang members to participate in violent crimes. Chef G is an RCA artist and founder of Winter Circle label and crew, where Tegan and rapper Ellie Frost are signed. He was regarded as a pioneer of the Brooklyn drill scene, best known for his No Suburban, We Get Money, Wait On Me singles, which have amassed hundreds of millions of streams on DSPs and YouTube. Investigators allege that Williams rewarded people who carried out shootings for him with jewelry, appearances in videos, and money. Now, jumping just right into it, that's absolutely crazy. You have a major record label deal with RCA and still doing drive-bys and having your ops hit and paying for people to get hit is pretty crazy. I know money doesn't really change people a lot of times, it just enhances who you truly are. But for Chef G and Sleepy Hollow, this is crazy. I don't understand why so many rappers are locked up, but we're not here to highlight so much that. We're just here to discuss what the charges are and essentially highlight all the rappers that are currently involved. It also says that Williams is accused of ordering and coordinating and bankrolling Brooklyn shootings, allegedly being a getaway driver for an April 16, 2021 Flatbush shooting. Surveillance footage allegedly captured Williams driving defendant Olivia Martinez, Tony Darden, and Kendrick Ostry in a Trackhawk registered in his name. Now that's crazy. Why are you doing crime with a car with your name, especially shooting, and you're such a notable rapper? It's stupid. But the 3 men got out of Williams' car and shot at a rival, instead hitting a 53-year-old man and a 43-year-old woman who were on the scene. The video captured the men running from the shooting back into Williams' car. The next day, Darden allegedly shared a news report about the shooting in a group chat with Williams and others. So this is absolutely crazy. Not only are you pulling off from a scene in your actual Trackhawk, your car that you're paying for, probably on the money that you made from selling records, but now you're also in a group chat showing the news stories, and the police have all of this evidence. So we'll see what happens with Sleepy Hollow and Chef G. Let's keep going. Is a rapper coming out of Brooklyn. He's another drill rapper that's on the up and up. He's often compared to Pop Smoke for the way he sounds and his I think his Crip affiliation as well, although I'm not completely sure. I'm not too up on what gangs everyone is a part of, especially in New York. I know there's a lot going on in New York, but Dusty Locane is currently in jail serving time for a gun charge. He pleaded guilty to 2 charges of criminal possession of a weapon. The charges are connected to 2 offenses from 2019 and 2020. According to Billboard, Locane announced he would turn himself in for his sentence, a minimum of 1 year and a max of 3 on November 30th. I'm assuming that's probably 2020. He's been fighting these cases for damn near 4 years. Locane wrote on Instagram, "Now I gotta go handle up, take care of this short bit, and I'm gonna be back 9-5 times stronger." So I'm not sure if the 9-5 times is his gang or any of that, but he's essentially in jail serving time, and it sounds like he's been fighting the case for a while. I wasn't able to find any updates to see if there was specific sentencing or had the case gone to trial quite yet. But I mean, a minimum of 1, a max of 3. It sounds like he'll be home soon, but still another rapper that has been on the up and up that's now sitting in jail. But let's keep going. 30 Deep Grimy is a St. Louis rapper. He's done a couple songs with Lil Baby. He's been on the up and up for a while, but he was also sentenced, not recently, I guess you could say earlier this year, so that is pretty recent, as of February 1st, 2023, according to Riverfront Times, which I believe is a St. Louis magazine newspaper. 30 Deep Grimy was sentenced to 7.5 years in prison the day after his new album drops. Popular rapper in St. Louis, Arthur Presley, better known as 30 Deep Grimy, was sentenced in federal court today to more than 7.5 years in prison for being a felon in possession of a firearm. The felon in possession charge where Presley pleaded guilty to last October stemmed from a January 5th, 2021 police stop during which Presley and 3 other men in a 2008 Pontiac G8 were pulled over in North City. On the backseat between Presley and another man sat a Beretta M9. Presley, 25, subsequently admitted to trying to forge a bill of sale from 3 months prior to make it look like the gun wasn't his, but instead belonged to the man seated next to him. However, numerous social media posts show Presley with the gun, including in October 2020 when it was purchased. Now, going back to, like I've said before, taking pictures of guns, just anything where you know you're actively committing crime. In this case, he may have just been protecting himself, but any incident where you know that you're not supposed to have something or you're not supposed to be moving a certain way and you still are, it's just stupid, and rappers have to stop doing that. It's just not that much of a push to try to prove that you're real. Most sentencing hearings for felons in possession last around an hour, but Presley's took all morning, started at 9:30 and not wrapping up until 2 p.m. The hearing was also more attended than the average sentencing hearing, with about 30 people. Almost all Presley supporters in the courtroom sat in the public seating area. They recommended sentencing guidelines for Presley's crime and criminal history was between 41 and 51 months. Now, that's the other thing you have to think about. If you're a rapper and you are considered a real street person, a real street individual, you're gonna get more time based off of your rap sheet more than likely, especially if you're a rapper and you're currently rapping about a lot of this stuff. I know that they're probably gonna use lyrics in court. We've seen it all, but let's keep reading the story. The U.S. Attorney Cassandra Wickham asked Judge Stephen Clark to impose the maximum possible sentence of 10 years. Wickman said that the longer sentence was warranted because Presley was a prolific possessor of firearms and a gang leader who had no respect for the law. So they're already trying to classify him as a gang leader. They're trying to classify him as having no respect for the law and saying that they pretty much need to lock him up so he comes out reformed, which is going to happen for a lot of people, especially if you have that lengthy rap sheet like he has. But during the hearing, the prosecution displayed photos posted to social media that show Presley holding firearms. They also played excerpts from Presley's music videos, including one in which the rapper gets a stimulated blowjob outside the very courthouse where the hearing was taking place. Crazy, crazy, crazy. My rap name is an image I have to portray. I have a certain type of fan base, Presley told the judge. He added, I feel like I'm being targeted because of my rap name. I'm Arthur Presley. I'm a human being. Now, I'll stop reading it there, but just in general, this is crazy. But a lot of times, this is what happens when rappers go into the courtroom. They're going to use everything they can against you because it's all public, and there's not necessarily laws in place federally in all 50 states to stop the use of rap lyrics in crimes or in cases, especially when you're rapping about active cases or things that could potentially be going on. But hopefully 30 Deep Grimy is doing well. I did like his music. I was a fan. And yeah, I mean, hopefully he's keeping his head held high, and that time goes by fast. 7.5 years is a very long time to be locked away, especially when you had a promising rap career. He was independent. He was on the up and up out of St. Louis. But, you know, hopefully things go well for him when he comes out. But let's keep going. Next on the list. Lil G, I hope I pronounced that correctly, is a Bay Area rapper and former member of SOB and RBE. Lil G was caught in a murder case in 2019 and was pretty much sentenced to 21 years in prison, according to the article on Rolling Stone. A judge in California has sentenced Lil G, a 24-year-old rapper whose name is George Harris, to 21 years in state prison for shooting a man, Rasheed Flowers, to death 4 years ago. Harris pleads no contest to the charges on March 2nd, according to the East Bay Times. Harris' plea deal helped him avoid a jury trial for first-degree murder. The Times report, which could have carried a sentence of 25 years to life in prison. He may face other charges too, since he was previously convicted as a felon and admitted to using a firearm in the shooting. Miss Denise Tanisha, and I feel honored to have represented Mr. Harris through the ordeal, as well as fortunate to have secured this plea deal on his behalf. So I'm guessing this is his attorney talking. Maxima A. Ferrantes, who represented Harris alongside Tanisha, tells Rolling Stone, "The incident that led us here unfortunately cannot be changed, but we are grateful an outcome was achieved where Mr. Harris will eventually regain his liberty and hopefully continue to share his gift and talents with the world. We also want to extend our appreciation to his family, his supporters, colleagues, and everyone who contributed to the preparation of his defense and helped him secure the outcome that eliminated the risk of life in prison." Now, I think that that's a win for him, but 21 years is a long time to sit down for anybody, even if you only do 12 or even if you do 20 or 15, whatever it is. That's a long time. That's over a decade to just be locked up in somebody's precinct, behind somebody's cage, just over probably something petty, probably over a girl, probably over money, over something small when you were part of literally one of the biggest groups in the world. I was a big fan of SOB RBE. It's unfortunate they broke up, but you know, with everything that's happened, Lil G, just the split between everybody in the group, I could probably understand why they broke up, and maybe it was for the best, but hopefully Lil G's keeping his head held high. It's unfortunate that another rapper is in jail. This is not the end of the list, however, so let's keep going. Is another rapper. He's also an actor. You guys probably know him from Superfly. I know that was like the big role that he played in, but I've known him since I want to say like 2014, 2015 for his music on SoundCloud. He's a really dope rapper. I would promote it, but not anymore considering what his charges are. I don't stand with rapists. I don't stand with child molesters. We don't play those type of games. But jumping right into the story by XXL, KR was sentenced to 50 years in prison for multiple rapes. Now, this was really crazy to me. I used to watch him on Instagram a lot and paid attention to how he would have different girls in his background and all that, but I never thought too much of it. I thought everything was consensual. However, based off of the XXL cover in the court case, the Los Angeles County District Attorney Office has confirmed to XXL that Kailyn Williams has been sentenced to 50 years in prison. Kailyn Williams, previously known by the rapper name KR, has reportedly been sentenced to spend the next 5 decades behind bars for raping multiple women and teenage girls. Completely unacceptable. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I agree with the sentencing. The disgraced rapper actor appeared in court on Monday where a judge ordered him to be sentenced to 50 years in prison, reports the Los Angeles Times. The ruling comes 6 months after the entertainer was convicted by a jury of sexual assaulting 4 women and 3 teenage girls. KR was found guilty of 3 counts of forcible rape, 2 counts of statutory rape, and 2 counts of rape by intoxication. Disgusting. He was acquitted of 3 other rape charges. KR, who had a role in the 2018 Superfly remake, was originally arrested on September 11, 2018 following multiple rape allegations. He was released and arrested again on September 26, 2018. He was arraigned that October and charged with 9 counts of sexual assault. In each of the cases, aspiring models were contacted by Walker via social media. Going back to what I was saying with the Instagram, with the premises of being hired to work professionally, the Los Angeles Police Department said in a statement that at the time KR's arraignment in 2018, 2018. While alone, each of the victims reported that Walker sexually assaulted them. Following his trial and conviction in April, KR's attorney Andrew Filler told XXL his client is innocent and they plan to appeal the ruling. Mr. Walker admittedly maintains his complete innocence. The statement read, he did not receive a fair trial as the jury did not hear many material issues and facts due to them being excluded improperly by the court. There were 25 charges originally and 17 including dismissals and not guilties are gone. 3 of the main women were found not guilty. This case will be overturned on appeal. So his lawyer is pretty much maintaining his innocence. He's saying that he didn't do it. He had nothing to do with this. The women are lying. So ultimately, we just have to see what happens with the appeal. Based off of the first jury trial, KR is guilty and will serve to 50 years in prison, over 5 decades, which, like I just said, is crazy. No one should be behind a bar. No one should be in a cage for 50 years. It's just not humane. But when you do things that are inhumane, that is unfortunately the reward you get. So we'll keep going. Another rapper in jail. Let's keep it going. Next on our list is Mobile, Alabama rapper Honeycomb Brazy. Honeycomb Brazy is currently serving the rest of a 15-year sentence that was handed down to him in 2016 for possessing a firearm. He was ordered to go back by prosecutors after they found numerous videos with guns and drugs, and he was previously serving 18 months on his 15 sentence before he was released in November of 2020. After that year, he began dropping music. He was dropping music before, but he ended up landing a deal with Jay Prince's label Mob Ties. He was dropping music. He was continuing to push, doing shows until he was arrested. We do have a couple clips to show regarding this, and then we'll react. I have a clip right now showing when he was arrested, actually, and followed behind that with a news story which talks about his current arrest and what he's currently sitting down for. So let's jump into it and then we'll react afterwards.
Come to my boy. Come to my boy. Down your knees.
Charges against Mobile rapper Honeycomb Brazy.
You might remember his grandparents were murdered back in February. No one's been arrested for that crime.
WKRG News 5's Nicolette Schleitzman sat down with Public Safety Director Lawrence Batiste to talk about his lengthy rap sheet. She's live here to tell us about this latest arrest.
Well, Devin, Peter, police say that the rapper, whose real name is Nashawn Jones, could face even more charges.
He doesn't have a problem posting some of his activities that he's involved in.
Jones was arrested on Sunday in Dothan on warrants to revoke his probation.
He's bragging about being in possession of firearms. He is basically, traveling maybe outside of the boundaries of what his probation will allow him to do, maybe not checking in with his probation officer in the manner which he should be doing.
He was arrested back in 2016 for gun charges. As part of his probation, he cannot be around drugs, guns, certain people, and habits. Court documents detail the violations, including his connection to a shooting. Video of that incident was posted to social media. This reportedly happened 5 days after Jones was released from prison. Court documents also detail another video posted to YouTube which appears to show Jones holding at least one gun in February of this year.
His actions and his behavior, the things that occur when he's present, oftentimes associate indiscriminate shooting either at him or him shooting at other people indiscriminately, places our community at risk.
You may remember in February, his grandparents were found dead after a house fire in the Happy Hills neighborhood. Police say his grandfather had been shot multiple times. No word on how his grandmother was killed. Brazy admitted his grandparents got, quote, caught up in his mess, but police say they're still working to find who's responsible.
He has certainly placed himself in the spotlight, and he has probably done some things that has caused other people to be have a reason to maybe to attack or maybe harm him. But by the same token, what he has posted has no direct correlation at this time to the case involving his grandparents.
And Mobile police say that he has been the subject of investigations in several different cities across the Southeast, including Mobile, Atlanta, Houston, and Birmingham. They ask anyone with information on anything he may have been involved in to contact local law enforcement. Reporting live in the studio, Nicolette Schleisman, WKRG News 5.
I want to send my condolences out to Honeycomb Brazy and his family regarding his grandparents. It's really sad. I did hear about that story when it initially happened, and I thought it was crazy. I know everybody was talking about it, but it was just really sad overall because, you know, it's really sad when your issue with somebody escalates to your parents or your grandparents or kids or just any of that sort for people that don't have anything to do with what you're going through. They're just related to you. So I want to send my condolences to them. But second of all, it's just crazy. Like, I do respect his response to it, where he said it himself. He's not going to retaliate or anything against any elderly people, kids, women at all. But it's just a really sad situation, especially to have to go to jail after something tragic like that happens. I think the moral of this story ultimately is just to stay out the streets and just, you know, everybody has to stay in their lane. Some people need to go the white collar route. Some people need to go the blue collar route. Some people, unfortunately, are going to choose the streets, but we should try to steer clear of it and just stay away from it, because this is the type of stuff that comes with death and destruction. And it's a very tragic thing to see, and it's unfortunate. But he's one of the other rappers on our list. I think I've named about 11 now. I still have more to go. Now, this documentary was pretty long. It took a long time to edit and put it all together. However, this is not the end of this documentary. This is going to have to be sliced up into 3 parts, unfortunately. It was too big. I couldn't fit it all on one drive. It just took up too much space on my computer. But if you guys want to see part 2 of this, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe to Life as We Know It. We hit our goal of 100 subs. We're on our goal now to 200 subs. So if you haven't already, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe. We truly appreciate it. And until the next video, I am out.